Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Future X USA channel. Please subscribe and like my videos to stay updated on the most eye-opening developments shaping our world. A dramatic escalation has just unfolded in Eastern Europe as Ukrainian jets reportedly struck a Russian oil refinery valued at over $79 billion. This refinery is not just another industrial site, but one of the largest in the region and a vital node in Russia's energy network. The strike has triggered a flurry of international reactions, questions about retaliation, and debates about the future of the conflict. In this analysis, we will examine what happened, why it matters, and break down the target itself almost like we would review a high-tech machine by looking at its exterior, interior, performance, safety features, unique selling points, its price, and finally draw some conclusions about the broader picture. According to open-source intelligence and several international outlets, Ukrainian Air Force jets penetrated Russian airspace and carried out precision strikes on a high-altitude oil refinery complex. The site, valued at approximately $79 billion, handles a large portion of Russia's export-grade fuel production. Footage from the ground shows massive plumes of smoke and flames rising hundreds of feet into the air. Russian officials have downplayed the impact, calling it contained, but analysts believe the damage could be extensive and long-lasting. This attack signals Kyiv's evolving capability to strike deep into Russian territory, potentially altering both military and economic calculations. By understanding the design and specifications of this refinery, we can understand why it was targeted and what the strike achieved. From the outside, this refinery is a sprawling, industrial city unto itself, stretching over several square kilometers with an intricate maze of pipelines, distillation columns, storage tanks, and loading terminals. To the untrained eye, it looks like a steel jungle of gleaming towers, long horizontal cracking units, and vast open yards where oil is stored in massive cylindrical tanks. High fences, security checkpoints, and anti-drone installations had been set up around the perimeter, but the sheer scale made it a challenging site to fully protect. Satellite images taken before the strike show neatly organized production zones with crude reception areas, catalytic cracking units, reforming sections, and shipping terminals, all linked by a lattice of pipes. This exterior complexity is part of why the site was considered a backbone of Russian oil infrastructure and a critical economic asset. Inside, although few civilians ever get to see it, the refinery resembles a labyrinth of control rooms, high-pressure valves, and automated monitoring systems. Digital panels oversee temperatures, pressures, and flows, while engineers in protective suits walk among stainless steel pipes humming with processed hydrocarbons. The atmosphere is sterile yet high risk, with every dial and gauge critical to safety and output. It is a highly computerized, real-time environment, but like many industrial plants, it is vulnerable if power is lost or key components are destroyed. In peacetime, the interior represents efficiency and technological progress. In wartime, it becomes a potential point of failure. When operating at full capacity, this refinery processes hundreds of thousands of barrels of crude oil per day, producing gasoline, diesel, jet fuel, and petrochemicals for domestic use and export. It is a workhorse of the Russian energy sector, designed to run continuously with minimal downtime. Its throughput, measured in millions of tons per year, places it among the top refineries in Eastern Europe. This performance is why it is considered a strategic target, because disrupting it means disrupting a significant slice of export revenue and supply lines for Russia's military machine. The longer the downtime, the greater the ripple effects across logistics, currency flows, and even the morale of stakeholders dependent on its products. Because refineries handle explosive and toxic materials, safety is paramount, and this complex featured multiple fire suppression systems, emergency shutdown valves, flare stacks to burn off excess gas, and perimeter firefighting stations. However, these systems are built to manage accidents, leaks, or internal fires, not to withstand a precision missile or bomb strike from high-speed jets. Early footage after the attack shows some suppression systems activating, but flames still spread due to the sheer kinetic force and chain reactions set off by exploding storage units. The incident highlights the gap between industrial safety and war's own resilience. Even the most modern alarms and automatic sprinklers cannot neutralize incoming ordnance. What made this refinery unique and therefore such a high-value target were several factors. Its integrated production lines meant crude oil could enter at one end and multiple finished products roll out at the other, reducing logistical bottlenecks. It was one of the few Russian facilities configured to produce certain high-grade fuels crucial for modern aviation and advanced engines. Its location near major rail and pipeline junctions turned it into a hub not just for processing, but for distribution, effectively a fuel airport for Russia's economy. In peacetime, these features were a selling point to investors and partners. In wartime, they turned it into a bull's eye. Each of these unique selling points magnified the strategic payoff of a successful strike. At an estimated $79 billion in market value, this facility represents not only a physical asset, but a symbol of Russia's energy power. That price tag includes infrastructure, equipment, storage capacity, and the pipelines feeding it. When a single night of strikes can jeopardize such a colossal investment, the economic stakes of the conflict become starkly visible. This is not just a hit on a plant, but a hit on billions in revenue, jobs, and international contracts. It also serves as a message to markets and decision makers about the reach and determination of Ukrainian forces and the vulnerability of even the most prized assets. The Ukrainian jet attack on the $79 billion Russian oil refinery is more than just a headline. It is a case study in how modern warfare targets the economic foundations of an adversary. By breaking down the exterior, interior, performance, safety features, unique selling points, and price, we can see why this was a strategic blow. It also underscores how industrial facilities built for maximum efficiency in peacetime can be vulnerable in wartime, especially to high-tech precision strikes. Conflicts today are no longer confined to battlefields. They spill into supply chains, energy markets, and the industrial backbones of nations. This incident may drive up fuel prices, complicate global logistics, and push policymakers toward new defensive measures. It may also accelerate the adaptation of energy infrastructure to a world where even civilian assets are potential targets. The lesson for governments, corporations, and citizens is that economic security and physical security are increasingly intertwined. Watching how this story develops will be crucial, because it may influence not only Russia's energy strategy, but also Ukraine's future tactics and the broader international response. Will Russia rebuild, retaliate, or reinforce its infrastructure? Will Ukraine expand its reach or shift to other types of targets? Each decision carries costs and risks. For observers, analysts, and everyday viewers trying to make sense of it all, breaking down complex events into understandable parts can help cut through the noise and reveal the deeper dynamics at play. The attack is also a reminder that high-value industrial sites around the world, from refineries to semiconductor fabs, have become part of the strategic chessboard. Their design, performance, and vulnerabilities can decide not only profits but national security outcomes. As this channel continues to follow the situation, we will bring you not just the news but deep dives into the structures, systems and strategies behind the headlines. By looking closely at the physical and operational details of key sites, you can better understand why they matter and how their fate influences global events. The more you know about the moving parts, the less confusing the world becomes when a headline breaks. Thank you for staying informed and for taking the time to engage with complex issues rather than just quick sound bites. Please subscribe, like, and share so you can keep receiving clear, in-depth explanations that go beyond the surface and give you the full picture. Together, we can track how technology, economics, and geopolitics intersect and shape the future.